Thank you so much. Today we are going to look about the words which Isaiah spoke in his time and the words which Jesus Christ spoke in his time. These words, they have a great similarity in these last days in which we are living. Indeed, the message is being taught to the ends of the earth. The message is being given to the ends of the earth. But is the message being hearkened to? The book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 9, gives the first word, whereby Isaiah chapter 3, verse 9, Isaiah is crying to the people like unto Sodom. The Bible says, the shew of their countenance does witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. So these are the kind of people, despite seeing that they have sinned, they are like Sodom and Gomorrah. This generation in which we are living, where they call evil good and evil good, and good evil. So this is the kind of generation. The message Isaiah was crying to them, woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. The book of Isaiah says that they have destroyed themselves. The book of Isaiah chapter 3 verse 11, the Bible goes on to say, woe unto the wicked, he shall be hid with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. These people are destroying themselves. These are kind of people, despite the message being given to them, they don't hearken this message to run away from this wickedness. Isaiah chapter 5 verses 8. The Bible says, woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. Do you remember in the beginning when they were building Babel? They said, let us come together, let us make bricks. They were coming together. This is the kind of unity which is being called for in this war. This is an evil generation, whereby if God does not come very soon, wickedness is going to increase so much. So they are joining house to house. The book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verses 1 to 6, it gives us the Antichrist, a man of sin, sitting in the temple of God, who is gathering nations back to himself, not to God, but to himself. The book of Isaiah chapter 5, verses 11, the Bible is saying, woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may pour a strong drink, that continue until night, till wine inflame them. What is this kind of wine? The book of Isaiah says, it is not wine of a drink, but false doctrines. The book of Revelation chapter 17, verses 1 to 5, it gives a matter of arrows, a woman, a kind of a church, which has given people false doctrines which are unbiblical, and it has cheated nations. It has daughters, mother churches, or daughters who do the same. The book of Isaiah chapter 5 verses 18, the Bible warns and says, woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as it were with a cattle rope. These people nowadays, they are sinning, and they are not hiding. Isaiah chapter 5 verses 20, these are the kind of readers which we are having these last days. Isaiah chapter 5 verses 20, the Bible says, woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. The book of Job, it somewhere says that they have changed the night into day. The book of Isaiah chapter 5 verse 21, the Bible says, woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes, and prudent in their own sight, not from the wisdom of God, but in their own eyes. They don't seek God. The book of Isaiah chapter 30 gives a nation, which is the United States of America, and other nations which have gone to seek knowledge from the man of sin, not seeking from God, but seeking knowledge from the man of sin, that he may help them. The book of Isaiah chapter 30 and 31 warns and says, remember, this is a man and not God. This is verses Isaiah chapter 5 verse 22, the Bible also says, woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and the men of strength to mingle strong drink. These are those kind of false doctrines which they have inflamed themselves with. Then said I, so it is an evil generation prophesied it was to come. He said that as it was in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, as it was in the time of Noah or Nuhu, it is to be in these last days. Isaiah chapter 6 verse 5, the Bible says, Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips. I dwell in the midst of the people of unclean lips, for my eyes have seen King, the Lord of hosts. Yes, it is when Isaiah saw Jesus Christ, who was among the people of unclean lips. Even this last generation, even Jesus Christ, when he came upon the earth, he was among the people of unclean lips. And this same message was used. Okay, Isaiah chapter 10 verses 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievous which they have prescribed. So nations now, many nations now, there are a lot of injustices which are being done by courts and other areas. Isaiah chapter 17 verses 20, 17 verses 12, the Bible says, Woe to the inhabitants of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations, that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. So these people could be gathering. The book of Revelation chapter 13, the Bible says that they and the world wandered after the beast. They are moving all of them, because you know waters in the book of Revelation chapter 17, the Bible represents waters, they represent people. So woe unto the mouths of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and the rushing of nations, that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. These are the people who are gathering among nations. Against what? Against the saints of the Most High God. So God is warning them. But in the book of Isaiah chapter 18 verses 1, other sides we have servants of God who are to proclaim the message from the ends of the earth. Like Isaiah chapter 18, it is still under study, but it is speaking about studying it and researching about it. The Bible warning about Isaiah 28 is warning about the Protestant churches, not Judah, but Protestant churches which have drunken. Like the book of Revelation chapter 17 verses 5, the Bible gives a warning and says, these matter of arrows acid, they are fading like a flower, because slowly but surely they are going back to Egypt. They are going back to Assyria. Start the book of Hosea. They are going back to seek the man of sin. The man of sin is the one who has a cup filled with fornication. So let us go to the message about the New Testament, and verse 30 I said about it, these are rebellious children. What to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, but they are gone to a man of sin, to the Pope, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. What have they done? Go to them that go down to Egypt for air, and they stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horses, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One. They look not unto Jesus, neither seek the Lord. But God is weaving a warning unto them. Now, let us move to the book of Matthew. In the book of Matthew, we are having a lot of words given by Jesus Christ, a warning to this generation. The first warning comes in the book of Matthew chapter 11 verses 21. And this is a place whereby after Jesus has taught these people for a long period, they end up not obeying his voice. And the Bible says here, Woe unto thee, Chorazin, woe unto thee, Bethsaida, for if the mighty works which were done in you had been done in Tyre and Sidon, they could have repented long ago in sackcloth and ashes. But I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon at the day of judgment than for you. And thou, Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For the mighty works okay, the message continues to say, And thou, Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to earth. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. But I say unto you, that it shall be more tolerable for those Sodom and Gomorrah, for Sodom in 30 day of judgment, than for thee. Why? Because they have uplifted themselves, because of pride. What does the Bible say? And the tower Capernaum, which hath exalted unto heaven. That is pride. That is what we run in Isaiah chapter 28. This Capernaum, in these last days, we are having the Protestant churches. They have a lot of pride. They are not listening to the message of the Lord. And thou Capernaum, which hath exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. Because the warning has been given to this generation in all means, but is the message being hearkened to? And that Jesus said and answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. So the book of Isaiah also, chapter 28, verses 9, the Bible says, who shall he teach and give knowledge? Those it shall be given to children, those who have been weaned from milk, not from strong drinks. The book of Matthew chapter 18 verse 7, the Bible also, Jesus continues to say, woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come, but woe to that man by whom the offense comes, that is the man of sin. Verse 23 also gives the words and says, but woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For you neither go in yourself, neither serve ye when them that are entering to go in. The Bible also goes to say in the book of Matthew chapter 23 verses 14, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make wrong prayer, because you shall receive the greater damnation. The Bible also, Jesus continues to give these warnings unto these people, but it's the same warnings which were given in the book of Isaiah. So he gave also a warning about his coming, his second coming. He said that the Son of Man goes as it is written of him, but woe unto the man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. Even in this last generation, woe to those who would. Thank you so much. This is Adventist Angels Watchman Radio. Peace be with you. May God bless you. Thank you so much for taking your time to join us on this very particular day. Peace be with you. Maranatha, Jesus is coming. Get ready.